Test. I'm a rookie. I am literally a rookie with streaming, y'all. As if I've never streamed before. Literally, I forgot to grab the microphones from in there. I had them charging. Let me start off again with this. This is gonna become a video eventually, whenever I get some time to edit it. But again, welcome. My name's Leo with Rosales Super Tech. I run a store here in Fort Worth, Texas, called Rosales Super Tech. And we repair electronics from video game consoles, PCs, laptops, you name it. The only thing we don't repair is TVs. And probably Apple Watches. I don't like working on those at all. That said, we received this 30th anniversary PlayStation 5 Pro. We received it last week. The original diagnostics, we thought maybe potentially it was a cleaning, which we did perform, as well as respread the liquid metal, because about 95% of the time that resolves the issue with these PlayStation 5, since they are prone to get some sort of dry spot in the middle of the APU as well as the heatsink, where then it causes it to overheat and then either shut down or crash or run slow, sluggy, so forth and so on. And with this one, however, we did complete internal cleaning. Although this console was immaculate, it wasn't even that dirty at all. It was actually pretty clean, and we still performed the cleaning on it either way. We spread the liquid metal. It did have a dry spot when we opened it up, but that still did not resolve the issue. So then we went ahead and pulled the logs, and after reviewing the logs, turns out that the issue is actually the SSD controller chip. We didn't have any in stock at the time, which is the 62GG for, actually a 62GG for all of them. We received them yesterday, and today we're going to perform surgery. We're going to go ahead and extract the SSD controller chip off of this, solder the new one with hopes that that's actually going to resolve the issue. Nice, PlayStation 5 Pro, yes sir. So we also have our reball station here, or reball. I forgot what you call it. Stencil, I guess you could say. In the event that I screw everything up, and we have solder ball squeezage from the initial attempt we do right now. Went ahead and just took that out yesterday. I'm not sure if, sometimes we have our off days. And then yesterday I did a Southbridge chip. And for whatever reason, the way they come reballed from factory, I didn't put, like, the airflow wasn't too high. It was like around 40 to 50%. I don't remember the exact percentage I used, but I kept getting ball squeeze, and I did two of them actually. Ball squeezage from the bottom, like ball would just squeeze out of it. And sometimes that happens because I'm putting way too much. My airflow's too hard. So I reflowed them, and then resoldered them, and they ended up working. But yeah, I just kept having an off day with larger chips yesterday, and I just hope I don't do that today. I just want to remove the old one, put the new one on, and test right afterwards. I don't want to have to reball, but if we have to, I guess we will. All right, we removed the screws, so we got this one here still. Let me go ahead and use my hot air, put it 300 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. And then we're going to remove this warranty sticker we put on here. Where's my tweezers? These are the tweezers you get whenever you buy something. which are the cheap tweezers. I want my good tweezers. I see these here, but I want the other ones, which I don't know where they at. You kidding me? Did I lose them? I'm gonna go crazy because those are my favorite tweezers as well. Oh, there they are. They're just underneath the scissors. Let me put some of these tools up real quick because got too much going on here. I didn't clean my workbench yesterday, y'all. Yesterday, it's one of those days where as soon as we were done, and I think I left at 8:30. At 8:30 in the evening, although we closed at 8. It was pretty late when we left. I was still working on the PlayStation 3. Yesterday was one of those things as well. Again, it wasn't a fun day yesterday. Yesterday, I just kept having an off day. I replaced the connector, which is the optical drive connector for the PlayStation 3. This is a backwards compatible PlayStation 3, and all good and dandy, you know, during the because I had to get a donor board to get that connector from. All good and dandy on the removal of the initial connector, and then soldering on as well. It was good. However, whenever I went in there to those cheap screws you get for free, whenever I went in there to connect the ribbon connector to it, and I closed the little lid, it popped off again. It actually broke again, and I was like, what? No, I was so frustrated, to be honest. Wanted to take the PS3 in the back, get my 40, just shoot it and tell the customer how much I owe you. It's one of those things where I just got so frustrated yesterday. Hopefully today it'll be a better day. So I'm removing right now this warranty sticker off of this console with very low heat and airflow. I'm just basically loosening up the adhesive so that it doesn't leave any residue behind as I'm peeling it off. Because we're going to put a new one on there anyways. There we go. Alright, let's remove the... Make sure I got all the screws. Yep, we got all the screws, and this just comes up. Again, this console, man, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It's in immaculate condition, and we want to keep it that way. We want it to be kept immaculate. So we're handling this as if it were to be gold. No tearing of anything, just put it back the way we are taking it off, basically. The only thing we did mess up on, which it happens actually, because sometimes the way the warranty stickers are placed in there are not feasible. So the original warranty sticker, we did have to peel it off, of course, which it is under our terms of services, where when things are open, it voids warranty anyways. Manufacturer warranty, that is. Alright, let's go ahead and remove all these screws. Take a mental image if I remember again. Okay. Yeah, it's like the Slim, so. Hello, Roozy Russ. Appreciate you joining the live stream. Thank you very much. How's it going, bud? I think you're a dude. I'm not sure though. I'm saying bud. Thinking you're a dude. Roozy Rush Repairs. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined the live. We're working on the PlayStation 5 Pro again. This one, PlayStation 5 games are crashing. As soon as you start them up, maybe a few seconds after that, they just crash. So what we're going to do, because we did pull logs off of this, we did the pulling the logs off stream, and it showed that the issue is storage related. Now, this customer does not use an external, well, they were using external storage, but they did remove them, and they did reformat the console itself, and it was still crashing. So when we looked again, the error codes from York basically until that the issue is with an SSD controller chip, which we're about to desolder, solder a new one, and then test. I hope this doesn't take me a long time though, because we do have quite a few repairs that we need to get done today, and yeah. This type of job usually I like to leave for slow days, but the customer has called a couple of times asking for an update, and usually when customers call frequently, it just puts pressure on us, and once we just want to go ahead and get it taken care of, so that we got the chips in yesterday as well. We were waiting on the parts. Oh, I forgot. We got one more right here. Making sure we don't have any other screws anywhere. This is where this thing last time. Oh, I forgot we got another one here. Last one was a little bit difficult to remove, but since we've already removed it once, it should just come up. There we go. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and take the board out, and let's work on this. The SSD controller chip, by the way, is this one here. Hyper Growth. Hello, bud. Thank you for joining Kick and watching us from Kick as well and sending messages. Appreciate you hitting the follow button. Now, if you do me a favor, Hyper, appreciate you hitting the follow button. But please don't spam with me joining some sort of Discord and stuff like that, so that we can grow quicker and whatnot. To me, those are scams. I don't like doing bot views or anything like that, so please just don't spam that. I'd appreciate it. Doing good. About to bleed some break. Oh, okay, cool. Appreciate it, bud. Yeah, good luck with the brakes, man. Good luck with the brakes. Alrighty, we got all the screws out. Let's take this board out now. This time around, it is easier to remove than it was the first time around. And that's only because we've already taken this console apart. Once we've taken it apart once, usually it's a lot easier to take from the chassis itself. So now we're going to get the chassis to this one. We're going to concentrate solely on the board and just put this aside. Again, what we're working on is the SSD controller. SSD controller, it's right over here. Now, one thing I need to verify is that in fact this is a 62GG SSD controller. That's one of the things I did not confirm, although I did Google it. But you know how Google's always right. Let's find out together and see if in fact this is a 62GG chip, and if in fact if it is, I did buy some. We're going to find out together. 62GG. I want to see 62GG right on here. No, it's not a 62GG. This is a 70GG. Womp, womp, womp. And this one's not available. I literally bought the only one that was available to be purchased. For the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's a 70GG. Let me turn it around because the numbers are upside down. It's a CSD 900 70GG. That is not good. Let me see. Let me look at the supplier real quick. Let me see if they actually even. Last time I checked, they didn't have it. 70 GG. No, they don't have it. What do we do from here? Honestly. That part, it's not available. Yep, that part's not available. Oh, that's very unfortunate, to be honest. That is definitely unfortunate. I guess last resort being eBay. Let's see if they even have it. I never do eBay, but I'm gonna see if CXD 900 70 GG. So eBay does have it. Oh. Looks like they've had 12,000 of these sold. Let's see, it says it's for the Slim, so let me try Slim. So I keep looking under the PlayStation 5 Pro because that's what this is. So I'm looking under the Slim section for my primary supplier. However, they don't show up to have it there. Let me look at this other one here, PlayStation 5 Slim. Do they show up to have it? Nope, they do not. Again, I have a donor board that I could potentially get it out from, but the customer wants new. He wants a new chip on there. He says, "What's the what if it goes out again?" type scenario. I really can't give a response to that because honestly, PlayStation 5s, they're not. I can't dictate whether they're going to give out or not. I guess it just depends on the use as well. I can't find 70 GG anywhere. Only on eBay, which I can order it from eBay. However, eBay, it's not a good reference for me to buy from, to be honest. Especially, let me see, where's it? This is coming from. It's coming from Cali. Well, I guess I can order it, but if I order it now, it won't get here until the 19th, which would be next Saturday. Sorry, y'all. This PlayStation 5 is So last week we got this PlayStation 5. It's a PlayStation 5 Pro 30th anniversary. When the customer launches a PlayStation 5 game, it's crashing. It crashes. It's crashing. It's crashing as soon as the game starts. Maybe 5 to 10 seconds right after that, it literally just crashes. That's what's going on with this PlayStation 5. Yeah, this is an SSD controller chip, which I bought some, but 3062GG number. I didn't realize this is the 70GG, which I've yet to replace one for a Pro, for a PlayStation 5 Pro. So I didn't know that they use 70GG. I looked through suppliers I usually go through for parts like these. I go through Mobile Centrics, Injured Gadgets, Phone Parts, and neither one of those three suppliers actually has these. When I go into eBay, of course, eBay has it. However, I'm not sure if I can trust eBay. What do you mean, why is Ace name on screen? Oh, you talking about this? It's on the wrong, no, not that one. It's on the wrong spot, y'all. It's on there because it's supposed to be where it says followed or something, and somehow it's out of place, literally. It's like the name's supposed to be somewhere up here, I think, along with those names. That's the reason why it's there. It's not in the right spot. That's the reason why it's, and I just never bothered messing with it. That's the reason why it's, I think he followed or he did something. I'm not sure. Last time he was here, he did something and it's on the wrong spot. It's supposed to be in one of these here, and I just never mess with it. I'm not sure if it was follow or username. I guess that whatever that is a username. Shut up, Siri. Damn, Siri's trying to listen to me and shit. That's what that is. I think, I'm not sure where it goes. I'll just put him right there. There you go. Let me call the customer real quick. I need to confirm if he in fact wants a new one, because the only place I'm able to locate these at the moment is eBay. I do have a donor. I don't trust eBay, to be honest. eBay would not be a place where I would recommend getting, getting these chips at all, honestly, because these chips are not, they can be faked. Let me check. I got a PlayStation 5 Pro here. This is a Pro. Actually, let me grab a Slim board instead of the Pro. Let me see if the Slim, because I do have a Slim over here as well. Grab a Slim. Where are you at, Slim? Let me open the door in the back real quick. back. I do have this is EDM040. I believe this may be, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it is. Let me show you real quick. This is EDM040. It is a donor board um, for Slim, and it's got the controller chip I need, the SSD controller chip I need, which I can remove it off of here, and solder it onto the customer's device. Thing is that he wants a new chip though. He wants a new chip. Let me call him up real quick. Let me see if he's okay with just me trying this out. Where's my phone at? My phone is missing from there. You're having pizza Monday? Send me a slice. I'm just messing with you. All right, give me a second, y'all. Let me call the customer real quick. See if he's okay with us just using a donor board. Pablo Sosa, there you are. Oh. $337. I'm doing pretty good, sir. Sorry about that.
So my grandson said that the HDMI plug is messed up.
But you can actually tell already it's broken. So if you look there at the bottom,
Yeah.
the port itself, it's actually already it's broken. So we have to replace it for you.
Do you need the ports?
No, sir. We'll recommend though, since that is broken there. Check your HDMI cable. Just make sure that the pin's in there. Let me take a look here real quick. Oh, HDMI cable is actually good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It would have been very, very noticeable.
How much does something like that run?
We charge $145 for HDMI port repair, and we're doing for same day as well. So it'll be ready later this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
As soon as my employee gets here, because
No, you're good.
I'm working on one that's it's gonna require a little bit more work.
Do I pay now or pay when I pick up?
You pay during pickup time. We don't charge in advance, and that's only because
In case you get
not necessarily. We can fix it. More so, we test it, make sure you're happy with it after we're done with it. And once you check and validate that it's working, because we do show you, then we take payment.
145 tax included, or
Taxes is not included, but we only charge taxes on the part, not on the labor. So taxes come out to like 3 or 5 cents, 6 cents, I think.
oh, okay.
Something like that. With repair shops here in Texas, we're not required to charge taxes on the labor. So I opted out from charging taxes. That way, it's a little bit less costly for the customer. Although we still pay taxes, quite a bit of it actually.
Yeah.
All right, do me a favor, sir. If you could put your details for me right there on that tablet.
Supposed to be underscore there.
While you do that, I'm going to just validate that it still powers on. I know it won't display. You want to see a white light and that it powers on. It does look to be a bit dirty in there. Did you also want to add a cleaning to that, or you just want to leave it like that? We clean along the way. We just don't get to the heatsink area, which that's the area that usually gets clogged, as well as the power supply. I personally recommend it, but of course it's solely up to you. It's an additional 35.
No.
No? Okay.
They just wanted me to fix.
Okay.
I didn't know it was gonna be this much, but
No worries. Okay, so it did power on and it did show a white light.
yeah, he was telling me he's been cutting grass. Like he comes and cuts my grass. 13 years old, and I pay him every week. And I asked him, "What are you doing with your money? Are you saving it, for school?"
Mhm.
He said, "Mom says I gotta save it to fix the PlayStation." I'm like, "Well, what's wrong with your PlayStation?" He's like, "Oh, it's messed up." And so me and my wife are like, "Well, hey, we'll go get it fixed for you. You do what you want with your money." And so that's why I was like, "Man, I didn't know, but it's okay."
Well, I'll tell you what. You actually came to a place where we don't charge as much as other shops.
Yeah.
Other shops charge upwards of $200 to $250.
Oh wow.
We try to stay more on the more reasonable side of things. I think 140. We used to charge 160, and we decided, you know what? Let's just lower it down a little bit more. So we went down to 145.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, all the other shops, if you go to like U-Break iFix, which is off of 820, they charge $199, $200, and there's another place charges $250 actually for that job.
So is this your shop?
This is my shop, yes. Yes, sir.
How did you get into fixing? Like, do you fix computers and like did you go to school for that or?
So I did go to school. I didn't get a bachelor. I got an associate's degree, but it's in computer science though. They really don't teach you as much. It's just a piece of paper. Honestly, where I learned is actually out in the workforce. So I was working for various companies a long time ago, actually, since 2008, 2009. Started in the IT industry. And then originally I started only on the software side of things, applications, and then moved up into hardware where we troubleshoot from PCs, phones, servers, and we used to walk people actually over the phone how to troubleshoot their servers. And then eventually we started actually repairing them ourselves, from motherboards to replacing tech dips on like AS400 servers and stuff like that. So it's just something I've always been interested in. And the way my mind works is I like to learn how things work. So when I got the hardware down, then I started to, how does, when you press a button on an application, how do you tell it to go to the next page and do this? So then I started learning how to software develop as well. So I started learning, of course, some SQL, some C++, C#, and here recently started dabbling with some Python scripting from version 2.7 to 3.7, which I know this is kind of like alien language, but it's just one of those things where when it interests you, you just put some energy into it and try to learn it. And yeah, let me get some paper real quick because I ran out.
It's the disc where you can actually put it in and just play, or what?
That's a puzzle.
Oh, it's a puzzle.
So that's a puzzle right there. It's a good puzzle. If there's a lot of zombie fanatics out there, and that's a puzzle that you can put together with the family and whatnot. But humble beginnings, to be honest. I wish we had more, but we gotta start somewhere, We have to start somewhere. A year. Just a little bit over a year. A year and like two months. And here goes your check-in receipt, sir. You'll get a text message as soon as we start working on it.
Okay.
And you'll get one when it's complete as well and ready for pickup, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you as well. Alrighty, y'all. So customer did approve. He wanted us to go ahead and proceed with extraction of the donor chip we've got, which I'm going to put his board over here temporarily. I'm not going to touch his board just yet. I first want to remove this. I want to make sure we're able to remove this one here without damaging it, of course. And then remove this one. Reball it. We have to do a reball, y'all. And I don't have a 70 GG. At least I don't think I do. Let me see. We got 60 GG, 61 GG, and I got 62 GG over there. I do not have 7. I don't have a stencil for it. So we're gonna have to hand reball potentially. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if 62 GG may work to reball it. I don't know if it's the same number of balls. We'll try it. If not, we're going to have to do a hand reball. Yeah, I know. That's boring, y'all. It's boring. But bear in mind, these are new. We got some hairs on this thing. Let me clean my needle on my Lux. Got some sort of hair or something. We're going to go ahead and remove this real quick. And get my hot air station to temperature. Okay. 915 Fahrenheit. Let's go ahead and switch over to the. This is what we're working on, y'all. All right, so let me see if I missed. Let me see what comments I missed on you guys. I think because I talk too much. You talk too much. You don't talk too much, bud. You hop on in the shop and help with repair. All you busy. I'm reading you guys' messages, y'all. I'm trying to see if there's anything for me here. To be getting me a microphone. I did not. Well, I have 2 sets of microphones, by the way. I think my other set of microphones are bad. Which, they're the same brand. Rode. These here. 2 sets of microphones. And I've got the ones I'm using right now. And I think these are probably bad. I think that may be what the problem or the issue is. Yeah, these microphones I believe are better than the last ones as well. I listened to my stream and my stream sound was really horrible. I was like, man, next time I think I need to check my audio before I even live stream. Because I know I wouldn't sit through a live stream with horrible sound. Alright, so the goal here is to extract this chip off of here without ruining it. By that meaning without actually tearing any of the pads from underneath this chip. Right now I'm pretty high up. I'm not near the chip as yet. I'm just warming up the outside of the board. And then I'm going to get near the chip right afterwards. I know various people use various techniques. This is just the technique I usually use when removing, especially a chip this large. I don't have a preheater. I do not have a BGA rework station. The only thing I have is a hot air station. And my iron tips, my hot iron tips. And I'm utilizing what I have and, on hand. There's people that use preheaters and BGA rework stations. And of course, it's a lot safer doing it that way. But I've been doing it this way for so long with older gen consoles, or when I say older gen, I mean like the PlayStation 5, first revision, second revision, and so forth and so on. And I've done okay. All right, so we've warmed up the outside. Now we're going to come down to the chip. Sorry if I'm not replying to you guys' messages right now. I'm just trying to concentrate on this chip. Starting to move. almost a perfect extraction. I'm letting these solder balls solidify. Once I see those done, more than likely the one on my chips are also done as well. Okay, yep. All right, this is the donor board, of course. We're gonna put that aside. Let's clean this out. Where is my... There it is. I just used it yesterday. We're gonna clean off this chip real quick. It's gonna suck. We're gonna have to potentially hand reball this. I need to see if my 62GG, if it fits in here, or at least I'm able to get some of the solder balls with the 62GG and limit the number of solder balls I have to manually add to this. I don't know. Yes, the mics you're using now are great. Awesome, awesome. That is all the Super Tech. We have the same amount of subs. Awesome. That's hilarious. Hey, I opened this channel quite some time ago. I started to upload videos. I didn't see any support, or I tried the whole TikTok trend thing, so I went to TikTok instead, and this channel basically went dead. But we've recently started utilizing YouTube again instead of TikTok. TikTok is one of those things where they keep banning me for. Just the other day, I was actually doing an IPS screen replacement on a Game Boy Advance, as well as a shell swap and a battery mod. And they said that the content I was doing was not meant for TikTok because it's not Nintendo branded or something along those lines. I don't know. It's something I forgot. And they ended up banning me for like 2 days. I didn't say nothing wrong either. Super Tech, this is Leo. How can I help you? What's wrong with your PSP, sir? Oh yeah, most definitely. So usually our minimum labor cost it is 80, but we can certainly get that done for you. I think. Yeah, of course, most definitely. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. All right, so I'm gonna fuse these solder balls with some low melt. That way, it makes the wicking. Oh, what am I trying to do here without having any sort of? My thing was turned off. It's not the amount of sub; it's the quality of the subs that count. That is actually true. That is a true statement. You need proper gang. Exactly. People with thousands of subs probably get, well, they're people with thousands of subs, I don't know, maybe 20% of those subs are probably actually watching their content. A lot of those maybe are bot subs. I don't like doing the whole bots thing. People get some bots and they have fake accounts, follow them and stuff like that. Yeah, it's gonna be a hand reball probably. I'm gonna check my 62GG and see if with that stencil I can potentially get some of the solder. Well, yeah, some of the solder balls build in and then do the rest by hand to limit the number of solder balls I have to do on here. I don't know if it's doable. I'm gonna try it. I don't have the stencil for the 70 GG of the SSD controller. That did not work. Let me open this up real quick. Guess I'll start on that end instead. I'll work my way up. Alrighty, I gave it one pass. Let me give it one more, and then we'll call it. We'll clean this up, and then we'll check the 62GG to see if if maybe it works. The chip looks to be about the same size. If not, yes, we're gonna have to do Henry Bow. And sorry about that, y'all know this is kind of it's one of those things where it could be boring to watch. But it's something I gotta get done. Okay, take it off of this. Let me check it with the stencil real quick. Let me clean the bottom part though. Still have quite a bit of flux there. Okay. All right, so chip is extracted. Let's check the stencil. Will it work? What do y'all think? OPJ said, "How has business been? Business been good." Yes, baby boy. Where's Maya? What makes you think she's gonna come today? Maya hasn't told me she was coming today, baby boy. All right, so this is the stencil here. Let's see. Y'all think it fits? Will it fit here? It does not. This one does not fit. I think this is a smaller chip than the 62GG. Yeah, it's smaller because this is meant for a 62GG. Yeah, it's not gonna fit here. It does not fit. Let me see the stencil though. Okay, use the stencil still though. I could try using the stencil. So long as it stays in place. Just to put some solder balls on it and then remove the stencil afterwards and heat it up. Let's see if I could do that real quick. I'm just trying to limit how long I take, literally, to if I put this here, put this here. Huh, maybe. You put this underneath the magnet thingy. It's not going anywhere. That looks to me like it's gonna work, y'all. It's not meant for it, but we're gonna make it work. All right, let me put some flux to the chip. Is that some flux to the chip? I don't know, we're just gonna invent our own little invention here, our own little stencil, trying to make it work. Anything to avoid from doing hand reball. And reballs, they suck. Take way too much time, and I got too many repairs. Alrighty. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Hold it in place. Put the magnet. Did it shift? I feel like it did not shift. It looks good to me. That right there looks good to me. What do y'all think? Hello, Ace, console repairs. You're on the screen. Hello, Ace. Appreciate you joining the live stream. Time to tell Solid Super Tech. Yes, Luna Taylor. Luna Taylor. Sorry about that. Hello. Say hello. My headphones aren't working right now. Can you chat instead? By the way, which game do you stream the most? I do console repairs. Well, I do electronic repairs in general. As far as games, I don't stream games anymore. I used to, under a different name. Used to be Sour Patch Gamer. Sure, you can probably look me up on YouTube still, but I don't stream games anymore. I only do console repairs. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, it's not a customer? Oh, it's Daniel. Mommy will be here in a little bit. I heard something about changing Southbridge for different versions. You have to change. That would be correct, JFix. I've heard of that as well. However, I don't. Southbridge in general, I always solder them on with the same model number. If I don't have it, I order it. Versus having to do this whole placing it with a different model number and changing capacitors and such. That's just way too much work. What am I reballing? This is a SSD controller for a PlayStation 5 Pro. Let me get the solder balls real quick. I believe these are 50 millimeter solder balls. But let me just confirm to see if in fact this will actually work. Grab one. Guess they don't want to go in here. Yep, that's perfect. Oh man, I'm almost out of these. I've been using so many of these 50 millimeters where I'm basically out. Gotta order some more. Working on the PS5 Pro that was up there, up at the top. SSD controller, reballing the chip so that we can solder it on the customer's device. It's been last week is when we got it. Huh? No, we got it last week. That's my wife calling. Hello? Sorry about that. My wife was calling. I got just a few spots open. Let me do the rest by hand because using little paddles not working, so I'm gonna have to do them by hand. Come on. Stay in there. Grab my other tweezers real quick. Here they are. Sometimes you don't have two tweezers. Stay. Belong in there. think I got them all. The only ones that don't really count are these ones in the edges. But it's being held down by the edge of the chip, so I'm not even going to worry about those right now. Let me just make sure we don't have any doubles, which we have one over here. Get that out the way. One right there. That one. As a matter of fact, let me use a little spatula, see if I could just get anything that sticks out. Come on. Come on. Just get out. You don't belong there. I think we got them all. Let me just confirm. Yep, we got them all. Alright. Here goes the hard part. Or the part that takes the longest. 50 millimeter. Yeah, these are 50 millimeter solid balls. It sure does beat smear based. It'll be fun. No, I have another. I think I have another one of these. Hold on, let me make sure. Although I already got all the balls there either way, but I think I have some more. But I like to have backups on backups. If that makes sense. Yeah, I got more here. See that? Got another little tub, but yeah, we just have to order some more because I reball quite a bit actually. So. Maria's new, I guess. He wants to know what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm reballing a chip. This is an SSD controller chip from PlayStation 5 Pro, model number CXD970GG for this one, for this specific chip, which goes on PlayStation 5 Pro. Parts aren't readily available through our main suppliers. It is available on eBay. However, I don't trust eBay. So I'm not going to order from eBay. So I decided to pull it off of a donor board, reball it, and then we're going to solder this onto a customer's board and then validate and see if this will fix the problem. That's the gist of what we're doing right now. PlayStation 5 symptoms it has, it's crashing upon starting a PlayStation 5 game. You start up the game, a few seconds later it shuts down. Or it doesn't shut down, but it crashes the game. It's still on the main dashboard screen, but it just crashes. All right, y'all, this is the moment of truth. Can we solder this without having to lower my air? My heat will remain the same, which is 900, but I'm gonna lower the airflow because I don't want solder balls to go flying. I'm gonna lower it down to about 40% and then start heating the stencil itself. I'm gonna heat up the stencil itself first, and then I'm gonna get near the solder balls afterwards. Actually, hold on. Let me remove these balls from these holes over here, because I feel like they're gonna go in the center and then somehow end up being added to my chip. And I don't want that. Clear the outside first. Okay, I think we're good. I'm trying to do it one try, hopefully. gonna let those solder balls solidify real quick. And then I'm gonna remove it off the magnet module. And then I'm gonna heat it up and then lift this thing up. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up for me. Come on, just lift up. Doesn't want to let go. There we go. Oh, no, 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 no. These are starting to get in there. Extra solder balls. Okay. Got those out the way. It's just a cleaning, yeah. Make sure there's no extra solder balls. There's not. We're gonna go ahead and just reflow it real quick. I'm gonna use my stencil, my little area here though. Want it to stay in place. A little vise, whatever this thing is called. We're just gonna reflow everything, and then I think we got it. We made a makeshift stencil for it, and we got it without having to hand reball. Let's raise our airflow now a little bit. I'm gonna raise it to about 55%. Perfect. There you go. We going back to sleep? Go back to sleep, Hayes. Appreciate you joining the live. Thank you very much, sir. Nice. Thanks for the explanation. You're welcome, Smrie, or SMRIE1. I'm not sure what that stands for, but you're welcome. Yes, it's gonna be complete cleaning. So we bought that one yesterday from a customer, but it's dirty. And anything we get in here, we usually always refurbish it. Nothing's wrong with it. It turns on, it displays, but it's dirty, so we're just gonna clean it all the way through and reapply the liquid metal on it. Samir? Okay. Samir sounds better. Samir sounds better, man. What's wrong with it? Well, yeah, these are the original ones. So these are the ones that come originally with the PlayStation 5. So yeah, that's fine. I'm waiting for making sure that these solders are going to solidify, and they are solidified now. We're gonna go ahead and clean. Hold on, before I do that, because I've done this in the past where I accidentally make an assumption. Yeah, it's solidified, it's hard. And it's not. Yep, it is. So let's go ahead and clean this up real quick. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's made that mistake in the past, where you assume it's solidified, it's hard, and you go in there and clean, and just merge the solder all the way across the actual chip itself, and you're like, oh no, could have been more patient. Or am I the only one that's done that? I don't know. That's a question for you guys and or gals. Man, I just saved literally almost, I'd say maybe 2 hours in manual reballing this chip. Yeah. By using a makeshift stencil with the 62GG stencil, which I'm gonna go ahead and order today the 70GG, because I foresee this being an issue in the future for these PS5 Pro. Makeshift stencil, meaning that it's not meant for this chip, and I still managed to use it for this chip. Meaning that I was able to utilize this stencil for this chip. So let me clean the stencil out real quick before I put it up. You've done that loads of times? Yeah. Yep, it's one of those, sometimes it's one of those days like yesterday. For me, yesterday was not a very good day. Hopefully we'll make a better day today with these repairs. I'm going to have at least a 95% success rate with all repairs. That'd be awesome. Huh? 95% success rate. I'm giving that 5% for those that we can't repair because it's an APU problem or something that we just can't repair. That's what that 5% is for. Huh? PS3 is done. Yeah, we finished it yesterday. That one took me, and that's what. But it took me a while because I had to do it twice. That's what I'm saying. I had to do it twice. It broke on me the first time I fixed it yesterday. And this is the optical drive connector, by the way. Yesterday I was replacing the optical drive connector, not on the optical drive, but the connector that goes on the actual board itself. That's an area that always fails, to be honest, on the backwards compatible PlayStation 3s. And I went ahead and removed the broken connector. I got a donor board, got that one as well. Soldered the new part to it, which was a donor part, and it literally broke as soon as I put the connector in there. It just broke again. I was so mad. I was livid. Super Tech, this is Leo. How can I help you? On what console, sir? We charge $145, sir. And we aim for same day, depending on the number of tickets in the queue and when you at the time you drop it off. The sooner the better, of course, if you're looking to get it same day. Alrighty. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir. Welcome. All right, let me clean my workbench. There's a bunch of flux and little tiny solder balls all over my workbench real quick, and I'd hate some of those to get on the customer's device, so I'm going to clean this out real quick. Let me get the chip out the way because that's the one we just reballed. Okay, we use that. Now we use some alcohol just to sanitize the workbench a little bit. It's not like we're gonna eat on it, but I don't know. I just like a somewhat of a clean environment, at least. I know my workbench is a mess in the first place. Clean environment. Alrighty. Now we remove the SSD controller off of the customer's device. This is where the fun begins. This console is working, it's turning on and everything, and this is where sometimes, you know, I'll be like, man, hopefully it turns on after we get done type scenario. Just clean it. Just clean from externally only. You don't have to like tear it down or anything. Just clean it externally. Oh, check to make sure it doesn't have a drift, I guess, because I don't know. I don't think my wife checked. I don't know if my wife checked it or not. Man, what time is it? Where you guys from? Is it really, really, really late? Wherever y'all are from, in the UK or whatever country you guys are at. I'm in U.S. Texas. So it's 12. It's noon right now, actually, over here, where I'm at. Just wondering what time it is over there, wherever it is that you're at. All right, let me heat up the board first. Same process. Pin number 1, it's bottom left. It's good. Does it need recalibrating? Check circularity. Okay, cool. Huh? Okay, cool. Come on. Trying to see if it'll start moving. Be tapping it. Tap, tap, tap. I need to see some sort of movement here. So we gotta be patient though. This thing should have already came loose. Let me add a little bit more flux to this. I don't know why it's taking longer with this one. Maybe it needs more flux. Come on, baby, just work. Come on. Must be one of those solder pads still holding on to this chip. It doesn't want to let it go. I need it moving now. There you go, starting to move now. Starting to move. Need to make sure that it's fully loose though. There it is. There we go. That chip did take longer to remove than when I extracted it on the first board. This probe must be a little bit thicker. That's the chip right there. We're gonna put that aside and let's go ahead and clean our area real quick. We're gonna add some low melt. Make the removal of that solder even better. Very risky technique if you kick it too much before the balls liquefy. Yeah, that is very. I'm not hitting it hard. I'm just barely tapping it, just barely touching it a little bit to see if it moves. Are my hands shaky? Huh?
I see. Shit. 2050 or
Oh, you thought I was mounting the new one? No, I'm not mounting the new one. I was removing the old one. Oh, you were distracted? Nah, no worries. I was giving it a tap to make sure that it was loose before I pulled it. I don't want to lift without me knowing that it's loose because pads can tear off along with it, and that's one thing I don't want. I don't want to lift any sort of pads. All right, let's put some low melt here. I add low melt. Oh no, there's different processes for this. I add low melt whenever I'm doing this. So I don't want these pads again to tear as I'm trying to remove the old let it free solder that's on here. So one of the things I do is I add low melt solder. And of course I do this to lower the melting temperature. I'm sure some of you guys may or may not know. I'm not sure. All right, let me remove this. It's got too big. Okay. All right, let's give it one more little removal. One more swipe through. Hopefully we can get all the solder off of this. Awesome. Got it. All right, let me warm this up a little bit so we can remove burnt flux. And then we'll add a tad bit of more flux, some clean flux of flow. I just want to get this cleaned up real quick. Okay, grab a new wipe. And we should be going to solder the new chip on. Uh, sh she's running late. I've been here since 9:30 ish. I needed to get this job done, and I know it's gonna take a bit longer. There, huh? Yeah. Let me see. Where everyone says handshake. Handshake. Yeah, just leave it there, baby girl. It's fine. Huh? Yeah, he came with me. He didn't want to stay home because he didn't want to clean. He didn't want to clean the house. So I was like, I'll go with you, puppy. I was like, okay. Let me catch up, y'all. I missed several comments. I thought he was mounting. No, I was not mounting it. I was removing it. Don't worry. Everyone says hands shake. I didn't think my hands were shaking. I thought I had pretty steady hands. But maybe it's the camera that's shaking, not my hands. Oh, good shout with the low melt. Most definitely. I use low melt on it because makes it easier to remove any leaded solder on there and avoids from having to tear any sort of trace. So that's why I use low melt. The point with mentioning shaky hands was a general idea. Okay. Oh, you have shaky hands. Okay. For example, so in case of melting a chip, I will probably mess up if I were. And I need to find a way to make my letters bigger. Mess up if I were to tap it. Okay. No worries. Yeah, I usually tap it. Even when I'm mounting it on, I move it just a tad bit just to make sure that it actually grab a hold and it comes back. I don't do it hard, though. I do it pretty soft. Is the controller sensitive if you leave flux? Yeah, the controller, man, that's a very good question. I've never actually cleaned the flux out of the controller. I know for the Southbridge chip, it is. It causes some sort of interference with the chip to where it'll cause it like a beep on, beep off scenario, or turn off a little bit and then shut down. And then once you clear out the flux from underneath the Southbridge chip, that clears that issue. The SSD, however, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I've never cleaned it off after soldering it on. However, I don't know. That's a good question. Never thought about the SSD controller. I've never actually removed the flux from underneath it, though. Flux isn't the conductor, but it can be conductive enough to mess with the crystals. That is true. That is true. All right, let's go ahead and apply some flux here. We just want enough to be able to tack on the chip, and then we'll add more right afterwards. This is the scary part, y'all. All the work we've done leads to this. I need to play some sort of music that dun 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 dun. I forgot. I don't know what the type of genre is, to be honest, for music, but it leads to this: us soldering this chip to this board and then testing right afterwards. Alrighty. Let's check my chip one more time just to make sure before we solder it on that we don't have solder balls anywhere where there shouldn't be any. Looks good to me. It's even Steven. Put some dramatic music. All right, so first pin, pin number 1, it's bottom left. Let me orient this in the right direction. Set it down. Okay. I have a solder ball on my tip. Get away from here. All right, let's check, make sure that this is Did I put this in the right? It looks good to me. Literally. That looks good to me. Let's check the side. Oh, the side does not look good at all. That does not look good. Let me move it a little bit. Ah, that was too much. Let's check again. I may have gone way too much, probably. Nope. Now it moved. Okay, let me put it back in its place. It moved this time when I leaned it. And that's because I had pressed it down earlier. And I'm leaning it sideways so that I can make sure that it's supposed to be where it's supposed to be, of course. I would hate to flow this thing in place and it's not where it's supposed to be. And I've done that multiple times, and having to reball it again, I don't know if I'll do that today if I have to do that. Probably end up having to try it again tomorrow. Okay. Come on. It moved. Stay. She's coming back in a little bit, baby boy. I have to go get something to eat. I think. I don't know. Okay, let's try this again without bumping the board. That looks good to me. Don't bump the board. I do need to do this softly. How do you know that?
She said that she's supposed to come today.
I don't know, baby boy. All right, that's good. That's good right there. Let's go ahead and flow this in place. Let me take a breather, y'all. I don't want to mess this up. I'm gonna take a breather. Fingers crossed. Yes, suspension music. There you go. That's what I was. That's the word I was looking for. Suspension music. Suspense. Just don't solder with the orientation wrong. That is true. Definitely don't want to solder with the orientation wrong, which pin number 1 is that way, and that is our pin number 1 right there. So yeah, definitely don't want to solder with the wrong. I missed a lot when I was at the store. Did he handball or use a jig? So I used a the 62GG the 62GG stencil. I managed to use that on the 70GG. Although the 62GG is a larger chip, it still left like the outside area was not filled. So I put the chip in the center and then put some solder balls, drop some on top, and solder it on. So I did not, I didn't do any sort of manual or hand reballing. I saved quite a bit of time. All right, so this is the moment of truth, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and start heating up this board and solder, or at least tack on the chip real quick. Just get it over with, to be honest. So I'm gonna heat up the board from the outside first, and then I'm gonna work my way in. All right. Now, before I proceed with adding flux, I'm going to check to see if this shows some sort of solder balls actually tackling on to the board, which I think I am seeing that. Yeah, I see some solder balls actually got tacked on. They're not fully flowed in yet, though. So what I'm going to do is add some flux now. It should shift as soon as it solders on all the way through. Okay. Raise the airflow. I got max airflow now. I think I saw a shift. See if I can give it just a quick tap. Didn't move. It did not move when I tapped it, so. Come on. There it is. I think we did a good job. I'm going to let that solidify real quick. And then I guess I'll try to remove the flux off of there. I'll just heat it up after it solidifies. So I heat it up a little bit and use my compressed air, to be honest, to get it out. I went and got my compressed air real quick. So in the event that there is some sort of, I don't know, interference with the flux being underneath the chip, we'll go ahead and remove it. Let's check our work though. What do y'all think? I think we did a good job. Man, that looks gorgeous. That looks gorgeous. I love that work. Let me go out real quick so I can check the other two corners. Man, look at that. All right, that deserves a pat in the back, y'all. That deserves a pat in the back. It did awesome. That looks beautiful to me. All right, that's solidifying. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit though. And then actually it's set rather than cooling off real quick. I'm gonna heat it up a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna remove the flux. The flux that's surrounding components, the SSD controller. Let's clean up all this flux real quick. Huh? Is it done? Yeah, just put it up front. My wife can put it up for sale. Yep. And then once you're done with that, we have a HDMI. I'm not sure what this is. This is a no power. Oh, this is also no power.
They're both no power.
No, these two are no powers. We'll leave this two for last. So do that one. All right, let's go ahead and remove the flux from underneath this chip. So we're just gonna add some heat, just enough to be able to have the flux melt. I'm not trying to flow the chip or anything like that. Okay, come back here and use air compressor. Clean that off. Super Tech, this is Leo. How can I help you? Sí, sí hablo español. ¿Cómo le puedo ayudar? Ujú. Desafortunadamente, televisiones no trabajamos en ellas porque el costo de las partes juntamente con el reparo, como el costo de la hora de obra y las partes y todo eso, todo acumulado viene costando prácticamente el costo de una televisión nueva. Así que nosotros hemos decidido no hacer reparos de televisiones por esa razón. No, de nada, gracias a usted. Sorry about that, yeah, that was Spanish I was speaking. They were asking for TV repair due to cost of parts and, of course, labor costs as well, because I have to add my labor to it. It ends up costing about the same amount of new TVs, so we've chosen not to take TVs in as repairs. Although we could repair them, but on top of that, they're too big and bulky, and there's a whole lot of other potentially breaking you know, the LCD panel and stuff like that. They're fairly easy to break. I just don't want to take the liability and risk on TVs. So, yeah, no, I'm not taking TVs. I don't see the value in it. There's quite a bit of flux underneath that thing. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yep, that is true. Beautiful, looking good. Pat in the back will be a trademark now. That deserves a pat in the back. That could certainly be my trademark. Or unless somebody already took it, I don't know. So what I'm doing right now, y'all, I'm sorry, I thought I was under the microscope. I didn't realize I wasn't. I am literally heating this up to a point where just the flux softens up. I can heat it up like this. As soon as I see some sort of bubbling, go in here and get the flux out. I'm using just a regular compressed air. So that is all that's being done right here to clean this up. All right, so now let me get some of that. Still have some over here. Some flux over here, like that. I'm just cleaning up all of my mess, y'all. I'm cleaning up all this mess. I don't want to leave any fucks, any trace of me ever being here. Again, this is the 30th anniversary PlayStation 5, and it's a sexy beast, to be honest. I like this PlayStation 5, or at least I like the faceplates it has. Of course, the Pro, they have the same parts, so you get a regular Pro and put it on the 30th anniversary case, no one would know. Okay, I think that's enough cleaning. That is enough cleaning. That's my daughter. All right, let me put the compressed air hose back. Huh? I'll eat right now. Hold on. We need a poll. Will it work? How do I do that, y'all? Hey, J6, I think I'm going to add you as a mod. I'm not sure if mods are able to add polls, man. And anybody else that wants to be a mod, I could do that as well. I don't know how to do polls or any of that stuff. I'm not a, you know, a YouTuber or anything like that. How do we add people? I'm gonna have to learn a little bit more and about this whole YouTube in general, because I don't know how to add. I don't even know how to add a mod. I know they exist and I hear people talking about them, but how do you add a mod on YouTube? I don't know. I'll worry about that afterwards. A lot of risk for too little profit. That is true. TV is a lot of risk for too little profit, so we don't take those in. That was indeed clear Spanish. Yes, it was. I do speak Spanish, y'all. I just reading it, it's a whole different story. Speaking it, it's a whole different story. I can speak it, not necessarily like the proper Spain type of Spanish, but when it comes to in the YouTube chat, there's an option. Mods can't add polls, by the way. Oh, mods can't? Oh, man. Alrighty. I thought they could. Alright, well, we have a... I don't have a poll. I don't know how to add a poll. I'm going to figure it out later on, y'all. But I need to grab some little tiny pads for this. Because I took it off of the SSD. Let me grab some from this board over here. It's basically the thermal pad. Hey, I'm dropping your stuff over here, man. Said I'm dropping your stuff over here. Okay. These thermal little pads, pastes, thermal putty. Need to get some because I removed it off of the SSD controller whenever I'm gonna add some to it. Clean this, but we're gonna add some on there. We don't want it to overheat, as well as the soda chip over here. The other ones have it on the actual face itself. Okay, we added a little thermal pad. And let's test. First test this, will it still power on? Once we hear the beep sound, I'll be happy. I have not messed with liquid metal just yet. I will, if this works. If this works, I'll mess with the liquid metal. I'll respread it, but for now I need to just validate and confirm that it will work. All right, y'all. Moment of truth. I'm not sure who that is. We got a scammer sending me text messages. Send them to junk. I'm gonna test real quick to see if the game will shut down right away. Well, see if I'm gonna even. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to test because it's a new control. SSD controller, so I think it's gonna probably prompt to format it. Maybe. I don't know if it's the same process as if it were to be the actual SSD itself. I'm trying to think here. I don't remember, to be honest. All right, let's change our scene here. We're going to change it to the console. And before we change that scene, in the YouTube chat, there's an option, mods can add polls. I vote yes. Anyways, okay, cool, awesome. Thank you, JFix. Next time when we have to do a poll, I'm going to get familiar with it and find out. Oh, give me a second. It's my daughter calling. Sorry about that, y'all. It's my oldest daughter. She just called right now, picking up my little ones. Maya's coming. She's picking them up. Alrighty. Let's check turning my TV on real quick. I'm sorry about that. I know this is suspense, y'all. We all want to know if this is gonna work. I am killing the suspense, man. I keep getting interrupted at the wrong time. I want to know if it's even going to power on, man, because messing with that sometimes causes issues where it just won't power on afterwards. And it's one of the, although I did an awesome job in my opinion. Okay, it's powering on, so that's number one. That's number one. All right, let's go ahead and change it. Change the scene. It's displaying. And let's see if this is going to fix the problem. Let me get a controller real quick. I'm going to try launching just a game real quick. The game actually we had launched last time. Huh? Astrobot. We're going to launch that game and we're going to see if it's going to shut down. And we don't even have the fan yet, so if it were to shut down, this would be a reason why. Because it's overheating due to not having the fan. But if it stays on for some time, all right, give me a minute. I'm almost done with this one. Yeah. This thing is not. There it is. I was like, man, what's going on now? It's not reading my controller. Astrobot. Will it launch? We don't even have the fan on yet. Just bear in mind. Last time it would load, we would get to it, we would walk for a few steps, and it would just crash. The game itself. Ah, it crashed again, y'all. Yep, still crashed. It's still crashed. All this work, it's still crashing. More than likely, this could be an APU problem on this one now. It literally crashed. And it's not because the fan isn't there. This is the same symptoms it was doing before. And when we get the UART logs, it literally points to the actual SSD controller, which that board we extracted it from. It's a donor board, but it's a good board. So it's not one that was defective per se. It was a good motherboard. Only thing I can think of from here, it's the actual APU, to be honest. I don't know, unless it's one of the SSDs, but to find out which SSD it could be, because if it's the bottom ones, those aren't replaceable, only the ones at the top are. The thing is, the error code, though, the log, UART, when viewing it, it points to the SSD controller. That sucks, man. And this is a 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary PS5. I am disappointed. I'm wondering if it's a RAM issue myself. However, when we pull the UART logs, it points towards the SSD controller versus APU reboot. No. No, we're not. All I have, it's a hot air station. When it comes to the APU, we don't reball APUs. That's I would have to have a BGA rework station to do that, and I don't have that. It's worth checking logs again. I probably will. Not now, though. I think I spent too much time on this one today. That is. I need to do the HDMI port he's got, and I got two other no power issues that came. One mail in, and one that customer came in, and they're waiting. And then I have a Game Boy Advance SP that I need to change the screen from one to another. And I've got an Xbox 360e model and a Nintendo 3DS top screen replacement. I've got too much to do to spend more time on this. I'm gonna put this aside for now, to be honest. See if I can tackle it again tomorrow. I'll come tomorrow, and the first thing we'll do is I'll come in tomorrow early morning. And first thing I'll do is get UART off of this, so we can check out the logs. But this one, I spent quite a bit, too much time on it today, actually. It's already noon. 1, actually. And only have 7 hours left in the day. So I'll put this one to the side for now. I gotta get some of these other repairs done real quick. Or else customers are gonna be calling in, and I'm the only actual tech doing all the work right now, so. Like, you're helping taking them apart, but you can't do much from there, you know? At least not yet. You will, but not yet. We've got an apprentice. I'm trying to teach him little by little. I need to get some of these done real quick first. This is the HDMI? Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I know you guys want to see the logs off of that. It's just one of those where I know that if I don't get some of these repairs done, you're going to have these customers calling all day for a status on their device. So this one, all I'm doing is it's just an HDMI port repair. So I'm just going to remove this HDMI and put the new one on. The thing with the SSDs that are not replaceable are the chips IDs, married. It's the chip IDs. Chip IDs are married to the and those are the ones at the bottom though. Chip IDs are married to the they're married to the APU, and those cannot be replaced. And I don't know how to reprogram those. Yeah, I need to keep the workflow going. If I spend any more time on that, I'm gonna be in that rabbit hole for so long, to a point where, what the hell is this? Oh, to a point where I won't get nothing else done. And then customers are calling in all day, every day about status. Hey, what's the status of my device? So once I've attempted an actual repair on that, and that was based off of the UART log we pulled last, that it pointed towards the SSD. However, that log could be different, so we will pull it again. I usually add let it pre-solder to this, but I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm just gonna solder this back on just like that. We still have enough flux on there. We're probably gonna end up adding a little bit more flux in a little bit. Okay, press and hold it down. Let that solidify. I know this isn't as fun as that other one, but you know, we still got to get it done. Oh, Kimtech wipes. Ran out of them. Another one. Okay, let me check my work real quick. I cleaned off most of the flux. It looks almost good, except for the very last pin towards the very end. It has a little bit of yellow in because of the pin. It's soldered on, don't get me wrong. I don't like leaving any sort of yellow pinned at all, so I'm just going to add a little bit of flux. Thin that thing up real quick. Make sure the solder goes all the way through. There you go. And just give it a quick touch up over here as well. There you go. Money, money, money. She's dropping coins, man. She don't want them. If you don't want money, babe, you could give it to me. So if you don't want money, don't throw it away. Give it to me. If you don't want it, send it this way. That's fine. I'm not gonna mess with that. There you go. Well, I heard money on the floor. It is frustrating after all the work, Falcon. Doing all that is definitely frustrating. All right, appreciate it, J-Fix. Later, man. We got Case Lurg. Have a good one. Ants, I might visit your store one of these days. Do y'all take cash card? We take everything. We take everything, even trade-ins. You could, you know, if you got some old retro games, anything collect. You know, if you've been collecting, let's say some old retro games like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and it's just sitting there gaining dust, bring it in. Give you some cash value. You take everything, cash, debit, credit. We also do store credit as well. Yeah, store credit, you get 60%. If you want cash, we give 50% max. But it depends on the condition of the devices. All right, so this one's a melon. This one's a melon. Mr. Marcos. I think he was in my live one of these days. He sent this off to another shop. They told him apparently that forgot exactly what he told me, but apparently, you know what? Let me read the ticket out real quick. I'm gonna look up the ticket and see exactly what he put on there. Put this one in progress because I'm working on that one still. Let me look it up real quick. I'm gonna see if he wrote something on the ticket. I'm gonna see exactly what they ended up telling him. What was wrong? Where is it? There it is. No, that's not it. What? Can't find it. Are you kidding me? I cannot find his ticket. Oh, I think I know why. All open tickets. Let's add. You gotta add pending arrive. I added a new status and I forgot to add that one. Okay. I should have it now. Yep, there it is. All right. Ticket says, and let me put this in progress. You know, like nothing. Diagnostics. It does tell him. Yeah. He did not write anything actually. He just put blue light of death. That's all that they put his description. They didn't put anything in this one. Custom form. Okay, let me see the custom form here. It says additional details, blue light of death. And there's nothing. Yep, there's nothing. Okay, so just blue light of death. My guess is no power. Let me see. Does it even power? If it's blue light of death, does it even power on? Okay, so it is powering on. HDMI port looks pushed in. The HDMI port actually looks pushed in. Let me see if this will go into like a white light or something. I don't know. You see here the blue light? So we do have a pulsing blue light. Now it's a rare when we have a pulsing blue light though. Huh? I said we have a pulsing blue light, and I say that it's usually rare to have a pulsing blue light on these PlayStation 5. Like the only way I see it go to a blue light is if it's in safe mode. The pulsing blue light was known on the PlayStation 4s more so. Whenever APU would potentially die on it, or needed to be reflowed, or wasn't making proper contact to the motherboard. That's not the case with the PS5s. We have a pulsing blue light on this one. We could pull off UART logs, but I'm gonna do that as a last resort. Let me check the HDMI port areas. I'm gonna take this one apart real quick. Let me see if maybe they tried going into safe mode or something, and it's pulsing blue because of that. What do y'all think? I think it's that. In my opinion, I think it is, but we'll see. Huh? I think it's in safe mode, which is why it's pulsing blue. I'm thinking they were trying to do that as a troubleshooting step, potentially. Yeah. And it's in safe mode, but since it cannot display to the TV, it's just pulsing blue. Maybe, I don't know. That's just, as of right now, it's just an educated guess. I don't know until I open this thing up and start troubleshooting. So this has been opened before. The warranty sticker is definitely removed. So someone's has been in here already. They sure did. Someone's already been inside. And they put the screw in the wrong hole. What are you doing, Isaiah? Huh? Oh, go tell mom, quick. Yes, go tell mom, quick. Yep, go tell mom, quick. They at least knew how to put it together. That's a good thing. They put all the screws in the right spot so far. But they tore the... I guess they don't know. They could just unplug it from here and leave that hanging rather than having to tear this off.
But they break
This here? So this here is best not to tear it off. I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
So what I do is I disconnect it from here and from here and just leave this thing dangling there with it being tacked on. That's the only complaint I have so far, though. I'm not trying to criticize their work. It's just, I guess it is a criticize, but I don't like, you know. I don't know. Let's see what all they've done, though. See what all they've done. I think first thing I'm going to do is to see if they've done any sort of work on this board. Because another point of area that can cause like a blue light of death would be as if they mess with either the Southwest chip or the the BIOS chip. That can also potentially cause a blue light. I don't think they've tried to take UART. I don't see any signs of them trying to get UART off of this. I think this is an EDM 010. Yep, EDM 010. No HDMI repair was done yet. I don't see any work on this side. We're going to check the actual HDMI port itself right now. What the hell? This thing is too tight. The lap screws are way too tight. Yeah, I use an electric drill. However, I use Torque 2. What, you got Torque 2 on yours, right? Yeah, that's hand tighten. If they're using a screwdriver, they don't. I'm guessing they're not using a torque type screwdriver where the thing was way too tight. Man, this thing has a huge dry spot in the middle.
Huh?
This PlayStation 5 has a huge dry spot in the middle. Alright, let's check these pins real quick on the HDMI port. We're going to start with the most obvious, actually. Let me just look at this board real quick. Make sure they didn't try to do any sort of work. Southbridge looks untouched. Seeing something here, but I don't know. Yeah, it looks untouched. I don't see any sort of like signs of flux or anything. I don't think they even tried doing a repair on this. Whatever shop he took it to.
Well, what did they originally do?
Huh?
What did they
I,
originally do?
I don't know. He took it to another shop. They told him that it was the APU. I don't see any loose pins. Or haven't came across one just yet. I don't know, something about these pins, they kind of look off to me, to be honest. They're not necessarily moving, but they look kind of off to me. No, they're soldered on. This one here kind of doesn't look, although it's not moving. I don't know why it looks. Let's touch them up real quick. This port doesn't look that bad. We can use the same port for this one. I don't see anything wrong on the port itself. Forgot to change my source. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me show you guys real quick. Shame we can't see. My bad, Swindon. My bad. My bad, Swindon. I'm a bad content creator, y'all. So these are the pins here. Oh, you still can't see. Those are the pins right there. They're all gold. This is how they come out. By the way, when the customers ask, why is it that my HDMI port isn't working? That's because this is how they are coming out of factory. As you can see, they're not soldered on fully. It has a very minor layer of solder at the bottom, which then grabs a hold of the pin. But the top area and surrounding the actual port itself, the pins, it's not covered in solder, which I feel like with having only a small layer of solder, that could pose an issue. However, these pins, they look solid to me, to be honest. I try moving them. They're not moving necessarily, but I don't know if they're making proper contact at the bottom though. So what I'm going to do right now actually is just, the port itself looks good from in there. And out here, I don't see that it's lost its integrity on it. So I'm going to add some solder to these pins real quick. And then we're going to test, see if it'll actually display. Appreciate it, Close Luck. Have a good one, man. Appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and add some flux to that. Let's just add some salt. That's going to be the first step I'm going to do. And then if that doesn't work, I guess we'll go ahead and pull logs. We'll go ahead and pull the UART log off of this. Oh, I'll keep it strapped. All right. I'm gonna do that first, and I'm gonna test real quick. See if we get a display, because I know it's not displaying. We just have a straight up pulsing blue light. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll pull UART. I don't know if it has to do anything with the HDMI. I just don't like the way it looks, where it just has a very minor amounts of solder at the bottom, on the bottom of the pins themselves, and I feel like that prevents it from getting proper contact with the actual pads themselves, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever had a pulsing blue light that I didn't cause, and I caused it because of a potential bad Southbridge chip, though, which could also be the case in this scenario. But I don't want to assume that. I want to assume that it's potentially in safe mode and it's just not displaying to the screen. Because when it's in safe mode, the console does tend to pulse blue. All right, so let's plug this in just to check. Doesn't hurt to do that, because if it fixes this, then that's one done. I'm not saying that this is gonna fix it, but we're just gonna check to see if it did anything. If it did anything, plug in the HDMI. Okay. Let's change that to that. All right, let's see if we see anything on the screen. Yes, it's black right now. It is. Oh, got a blue light, still pulsing blue. Let's see if anything pops up on the screen. Get no signal. No, that's not going to be it. Something would have popped up by now. Huh?
Did you replace the HDMI?
No, it doesn't require it. The HDMI looks good, actually. I just added a little bit more solder to make sure that those pins were making proper contact, which that was just a education, I guess, educated type of guess, thinking maybe that could be it. Yeah, it still says no signal. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull UART on this. Let's see what it tells us. This one I would have to pull UART because it's turning on. It's just going blue light. Blue light. Let me right here. I don't remember which pin was for that one. EDM 010, so I think that was ground. Let me make sure. Yeah, the first three pins. All right, I'm gonna pull. Let me pull my diagram here. RXTX. RX. And then ground. Okay. Now I need to grab that wire. Do I have one here? This one? Yes. I don't even remember why I took it off the chassis. Should have just left it on the chassis. Should have just left it on the chassis. Okay. All right. I'm going to launch the Wii tools. Where did it go? That's not it. Huh? I think that's the no power. Yeah, just open it up to the point where you get to the board and the shield. Yeah. Oh, look who's back. All right, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Yes, I'm going. I am going. Oh.
You got game card?
I think so. Which one though? There's like 20 of them.
Give me all the game cards you got. I'll buy more.
I can't remember. Those are the only ones I have. If I have those, I'd sell them.
Yeah.
Every myself sing.
Like keep the cheap one and sell the expensive one. Porque las que vendí, las three que vendí eran en inglés
Yeah.
and Japanese. So I was like, it's the same thing. I just sell the expensive ones so I can get money and get the ones that I don't have.
Yeah.
And that 700 me dieron. Well, it was 750 credit on store and 700 in cash. So I was like, might as well get the cards.
Yeah.
Y agarré la caja blanca también.
I would have been like, I'll take the 50 in store credit, the 700 cash.
You couldn't do that? Yeah.
Oh, you could do that
Yeah.
still?
As long as you spend money, they're like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't spend all of it. I just bought the white box. That was $90. And creo que las tarjetas y me dieron como 400 back. Yeah, take it. And then I went and spent it somewhere else. I grabbed 151 bundles. So like,
Those are for whatever, the 151s, for whatever reason, that's what people are currently like fighting for.
It's the original Kanto region.
getting good
For the
cards.
first game.
Yeah.
It's literally all there is.
Porque sale Charizard,
My friend pulled the Blastoise.
Blastoise.
Oh yeah?
My friend pulled
But
the
that's actually one of my favorite Pokemon, Blastoise.
Blastoise.
Yeah.
You got. He'll trade you. He doesn't want the card. He likes evolutions.
I don't have nothing to trade with.
It's like a $90 card. Probably.
Yo también lo tengo.
Oh, ¿en serio?
Por la caja. Los $30.
No, prefiero mejor encontrarla en vez de que comprarla.
Está caro todo. Luego las cajas son caras.
Yeah,
$55.
but I would have fun just buying boxes and
Traigo
opening them.
cajas mejor. ¿Eh?
No, babe, Friros, get the application. Send it off. I told you yesterday to send it off. Get it done today, please.
They haven't sent the.
My wife hasn't sent the application. She's got it somewhere. I don't know where. Send it off, please. All right, let me go finish that repair real quick, man. Alrighty, well, we're gonna try to pull you are off of this.
You reading chat?
Yeah, I was trying to see if I had anybody. I think everyone went to sleep, which is fine. They're in the UK time zone, which I think it's really early morning.
Yeah, I saw you were streaming on TikTok. You got it back.
I got it back today. I applied again, but I'm pretty positive they're going to ban me again. They're always banning me. I don't know, man. They are just always, and I mean, did I select the wrong? I did select the wrong option. Yeah, I selected. I don't remember. I haven't used this one as much, so I don't remember which one it was. Which common? Yeah, that's son. I think it's gonna be my Com 2. Oh, number 2 for Com 7. I believe it's that one.
You want this one to be, you said a plant, right?
Yep. That pulled a yard log. I don't remember which options were the ones I needed to do, y'all. Give me a second here. Let me look up a video real quick. It's been a minute since I've actually used this tool. I used to use a different one that none of us actually talk about anymore. That's the one I used to use because that one was it did its thing. Although the dude is a pervert, but the tool he had was good. So now I'm having to utilize different tools to be able to get these logs. And this is one that I've come across, but I'm not too familiar with it. So give me a second here. What's with the yelling? Are you watching them? I don't want this door closed, okay? Sorry about that. Kids are yelling back there. Thought they were fighting or something. Trying to look at a video from Dakota though. He recently did one not too long ago using UART. I don't know if it was the same version that I'm using or if it's a different one. So I'm trying to follow the steps that he was using with software. Trying to find the one he's got though, the UART CL. Where to get it from?
Here you go. Or I guess you have that.
I guess while we wait, because I still need to figure out this one.
Yeah.
What do I have here? No, you can't work on those. See what else you could find back there that could be sold. because my wife needs to put that up. Um, no, let's not worry about the controller on that one right now, because you're gonna take another another 3, 4, or 5 hours, and I don't want to. I don't want you. That stuff is for sale. That's PlayStation 4. Yeah, you could take some of these for her. Just test them.
Yeah.
Make sure they all work. Make sure they don't need to be refurbished.
Yeah.
64?
You want the 64?
Test that as well. Make sure it works.
Okay.
The 64. That one we're saving, yeah. Just put it up there. I need to find out where can I get Decoder's software from, because I don't know where to get his software from. I don't see a URL on this video. He did one 12 days ago, June 29th to be exact. But I don't know where his software is at. Any of you guys, gals, know where it's at? Because I don't.
If you want to buy other characters, you can.
And I'm referencing this software here, this software that he's using on this video. I'm trying to find this one here, this specific one he's got here. I don't know where that one's at. And I looked here to see if I could find a link for it, but I don't see it. What do you mean, do I have it?
Bro, where's the
My wife has it back there.
Bro, it's missing one. Oh yeah, it's missing
Let me see here. Let me look at the Discord. Let me see if they have a link in Discord potentially. Because I have them in Discord as well, but last time I looked, they didn't have it. UR-CL V1. That's what I'm going to search for on here. Okay, I found it. Found it in GitHub. UR.cl. Let me see if I can download this real quick. I need Windows. I don't want Linux. I want Windows because I don't do Linux. This download is complete. Huh? Okay. Let me set this up real quick. Let me create a folder. Sorry about that, y'all.
How easy to replace the analog stick on the 64?
What do you mean?
Like, is it fairly easy to replace the analog stick?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Pretty hard?
It's the same one as a PlayStation 5. You got to remove all the solder from all the pins. I wouldn't recommend you doing that though. You're not there yet. You're not there just yet. All right, so I'm following a video from Dakota whenever he was using it. So I'm gonna see if I could mimic the same thing he was doing on his. He put kid error codes from PS5.
Do I need to connect it?
Yeah, you can plug that into a PC or something. Or if you have one of those plugs, I think I have. It just needs power. You can just plug it in there. This would be COM number 7, which is 2. There we go. We got the error codes. APU not responding, trying to initialize. Oh man, it's a fucking APU problem. That sucks. That definitely sucks for this one. Well, we got your boy Jew. He just spamming, yo, 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 hey, hey, hey. What's up, bud? What can I do for you, man? What's up with the spam? Trying to get my attention or something? What can I do for you? How can I help you? Your boy Jew. There's too many haze going on right there on TikTok. You got a question? No, I already bought my PS5. You already brought your PlayStation 5 to us? All right, so this PlayStation 5, it's not going to be repairable. It is an APU problem, so we're not going to be able to get this one taken care of for Mr. Marcos. This one is definitely an APU problem. Let me take this real quick. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna copy this real quick. I'm gonna paste it in as the diagnostics, but at the same time, I'm gonna clear the logs, and I'm going to. He was talking to my wife. Is it you? It is too. Your boy Jew? Your boy Jew, is he you? No, oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was you. Huh? No, somebody was spamming the chat. I was like, wow, what's going on with the spam? And they said that we're talking to my wife, and you're the only one over there talking to my wife, so.
That's not good. No. You want me to kind of rejoin?
That one has a drift?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to replace it. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. It's not you then.
Hey, that's on me account.
No, not YouTube.
Oh, no.
On TikTok.
No, I don't have TikTok.
Oh, you don't have TikTok? Oh, I forgot. I thought you said you did. We got this one here. Yeah. Watch a video, see if you can figure it out. If not, I'll replace it later on once I'm done. Okay, I went ahead and added the error code. Let me see if I can clear it real quick. Clear these error codes, and then I'm gonna clear error code number 2. All right, let me try turning it on now, see if it'll grab something. That'd probably be pulsing blue right now. Later. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Okay, it's pulsing blue. Turn this off real quick again. Turn it off again, and I'm gonna again press it. Want to have at least a couple. Okay, it's pulsing again. Okay, let's see what it does now. Let's see, get error codes. 2. I'm getting the same thing. Same error code. Trying to initialize or reboot. APU not responding. Yeah, it's gonna be an APU problem. So whomever did do the diagnostics on this, I'm guessing they knew it was APU. I'm not sure how they diagnosed it though, because they didn't. I didn't see signs of them pulling UART on here at all. Huh? Well, the thing is, the blue light of death usually it's not common on the PlayStation 5s. It being stuck in safe mode is though. But yeah, this is definitely an APU. And APU issues, unfortunately, we do not repair. I don't have a way to reball. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together. My food probably got cold. Go ahead and warm it up. I'm gonna eat it right now. Please and thank you. Yeah, APU problem. Once I see that being issue with an APU, we're not gonna waste any more time on this one, cause yeah, that means it's just dead. APU is dead. It's not initializing. APU is dead. It's not initializing. What? I don't know, baby boy. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't have the stream up on my screen here. Did I check if the AP was physically cracked? I did not. I just saw the error code from the UART that you see on the screen. And I didn't. After that, I didn't do nothing else. Once I see something like that, I see that error code, it just makes me not want to spend a single second additional on this console because that tells me the APU potentially is faulty. I could go around and start checking values and stuff, but I feel like it's gonna be more like just waste of time versus going to the next repair. At least in my opinion. Now, if I was doing this from home versus, you know, as a hobby, then yes, I spend more time diagnosing this and potentially do even more to try to figure it out. But it may end up coming to the same conclusion of it being a dead APU. But I did not validate to see if the APU was cracked. Okay, I'm gonna eat it right now. I'm gonna put this one together and I'm gonna eat right now. I'm about to end the stream right now so I can eat. And then I'll come back live after. I haven't eaten breakfast. It's already 2 o'clock. Basically past lunchtime, so I need to eat. That's one of the things about just being busy in general. You just don't have time to do nothing else, to be honest. That includes eating, which I need to eat. I need to eat. Yeah, when it comes to APUs, I'm sure Oscar, I'm sure you're aware that APUs are so delicate, like heat sensitive per se. So if I were to use a hot air station, that APU would just get fried. It'll get toasty. So I don't use a hot air station, and with having limited access to, or not limited access, but not having a proper BGA rework station that I can use to potentially reflow the APU, it's just one of those things where I don't further continue testing or validating the APU because let's say for a fact well, in this scenario, more than likely it is the APU because of the error code. To replace an APU, first off, requires for you to also remove or replace the other chips that are married to the APU. Example being the SSDs underneath the actual board. I think the best option, honestly, and the best option. Let's just put that way. For this would be just to get a replacement motherboard instead of repairing this because of an APU problem. I don't think the time it would take to get that repaired would be trying to look for the word I'm looking for here. Smart business sense wise, because I'd be just spending a few more hours trying to get one going when I could have done five other repairs in the same time frame that I would spend on this, and the money that it's gonna bring wouldn't cover my time. So When I see an error code that says APU failure to initialize, it's one of those things where I'm just gonna be like, nope, it's an APU problem. Send it off to the back to the customer, which is what we're going to do because it's an APU issue. It requires potentially being replaced or reballing, and we don't offer APU repairs on any of the consoles. I don't have, again, a proper VGA workstation for that. I will eventually make an investment on one. I just don't have one at the moment. The one I had, again, it fried. Caught on fire. I'm curious. I'm wondering who your boy Jew is. Talking like he was talking to my wife. Huh? Well, he said he was here talking to my wife. I'm just curious who it is. Huh? It could be a possibility that it was him. Maybe, I don't know. No, he doesn't have a TikTok. And that was from TikTok. Yeah, it's from TikTok, so it wasn't him. I don't know who it is. It's your boy Juju. Or it's your boy Q. Oh, put it in the wrong one. Okay. That's put back together. And we'll contact the customer and let them know. Again, this is still posting blue. It is an APU problem, so nothing we can do with that. Otherwise, I do have a few other repairs to get done. I still need to refresh my stream anyways. I'm going to eat real quick. It'll take me roughly an hour, and then I'll be back. The repairs I still have left, it's an Xbox 360. It is the E model, Xbox 360E. I have a Game Boy. It's a special edition, though. This is nice. Not sure what edition this is. Game Boy 3DS, I believe. I think this is custom. But it's this one right here. I think it's custom, but it needs the top screen to be replaced. Which will replace the top screen as well. I think I need to order it though. This is, yeah, for the regular 3DS. It has some sort of liquid actually that was spilt in it. So we'll get this one taken care of. We'll take this one taken care of. I need to order the screen this one, so this one won't be done on today's stream. We got a Nintendo Switch that we also need to take care of. Nintendo Switch Lite, we need to replace the actual LCD screen. This one we do have the part for. So this one we're going to replace the screen. So we're going to be doing this one today. And then this customer here, man, this one's a project. So this customer has several repairs we need to get done for him. We put them all in one. Remove this off the way real quick. So this is the one that's it's taking up quite a bit. So this one, we need to replace the top screen. He actually brought his own screen with it. We need to replace the top screen off of that one. This PSP, it's a PSP 1000 model. Is it the 1000 model? I think it is. It just came off. Battery doesn't want to come out. There it is. This is the 2001 model. PSP 2001 model. This one, it's the game where the game the laser for it. Need to replace it. We'll check that out to see what it is. I've done a couple laser replacements on these. I don't have a laser in stock, but I will order it. So this one's probably gonna have to wait until I order the part. This battery cover though, it's not sitting properly in here. I don't like that. This should be fairly easy. There it is. But that one, and this Game Boy, we just need to replace the battery on that one. Place the battery on this one. Now this one, it's a bit confusing. They want to keep the original. This one has a power issue. But they also want to swap. They want to swap this screen here. Swap this screen here. Swap this screen here to this one. This one's got power issues, so work the motherboard, validate values and stuff, see why it's not powering on. Swap the screen to here. Now this one, however, although this one actually looks in better condition than this one, they want to replace the shell on this one with something else, and they want an IPS screen. So we got the IPS screen. I don't have the shell. Shell needs to be ordered, and they want a new battery on this one. So yeah, this one's a project. This is going to take me some minute for this one. But alright, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for now. I'll be back later on. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Stay blessed.